a slightly different viewpoint. My name is Eunice. I've got a couple of things to talk about. First one would be in dementia daycare. Dementia is a growing trend, and there are many more who are going to be diagnosed with it. However, the supply of dementia daycare centers is down. If at any one time you try to get a place in New Horizon at Toa Payoh, there might be a 12-queue wait. And the thing is, when you have an elderly person with dementia trying to get an entry, first thing they'll ask is, what are the behavioral symptoms? If it's something that is a little more extreme, they're not going to take this patient. They're going to take somebody who's just forgetful and not someone who's screaming and doing things like that. So I feel that perhaps the government should consider investing a little more in this sector. The training of personnel. This is not a very attractive area where on a daily basis staff get yelled and screamed at. There's a very high stress level. A consideration would be the training of displaced persons who have lost their jobs in the Middle Ages and things like that. So these are people who have matured in life and they would understand the people more. Okay, part two. I am hoping that the government would invest a little more in social enterprise. I believe there's quite a bit of investment in this area already, but it's not very popularized as compared to technopreneurship. So if the government would showcase the available seed funding or available assistance in this area, perhaps there'll be more people coming into this area to invest in social enterprise related to elder care, perhaps, or medical care, or inviting foreign investment in this area. As we know, most of the time we go overseas to learn from the US, Australia, and so on and forth. There are people there who are experienced in these areas, perhaps not in our culture, but they can invest. And then, okay, thirdly would be the suggestion to make chronic disease management incentivized. We have many people with diabetes, hypertension, hyperlipidemia. However, although these are MediSave deductible, I do not see the encouragement to make sure that these people are compliant. And we see a lot of these people coming back using the MediSave, but their blood results do not improve. So I'm hoping that perhaps for a certain group, if you improve your blood results, after having this MediSave deduction, we will give you added discount on other services. So instead of just a freebie. So that's another way of keeping it lean. Of course, the aunties and uncles would scream at me. But on one hand, it helps us. On the other hand, it also helps them to improve their health. Thirdly, I'm hoping that the Ministry of Health would finance more health education to encourage rehab. We are in a society and culture whereby once you are struck by stroke, you are dependent on your dependents, and then the will to recover is not as strong as compared to foreign countries. If we can have an education program targeted towards wanting to get well and what you can get out of being well in your old age, even though you've got a stroke, I think we can do a little bit more. We've got a lot of things targeted to smoking, very good. But perhaps something to help senior citizens to grasp the idea that even though you've got a stroke, there's still hope beyond that. And then you should go to the day rehab centers. And finally, there are many citizens from our neighboring countries trying to become citizens in Singapore. However, they are rejected because perhaps their income tax level is not at a certain level. We could pool these applicants and ask them, okay, if you form this social enterprise to help the elderly in Singapore, and it works out after 3 years, we'll think about your application again. Thank you.
So give citizenship only to people who...
Yeah, this is an added one whereby it's not money related or where it's not investment related in a certain sense, but it's investment in the community. Pulling them to build our community, their community, when they become citizens. So this is called active citizenry in the making, even before they become citizens. So these are the people that we really want in our country who contribute. Thank you.
Seems there are many views on healthcare. Just another interjection. Dementia Daycare Center, yes. Day Rehab Center, we agree. I think we are short. There are limited number of, especially dementia centers, and we are looking at expanding capacity in view of the aging population. In fact, for the intermediate long-term sector, we are looking at expanding capacity, nursing homes, rehab center, whether we can actually integrate daycare center and also add in the rehabilitation portion, right? Even community hospitals, we are looking into that. But in addition to this, we are also looking at how to help more of our elderly age in place, encouraging home care. Again, limited land area, so there is a constraint as to how many nursing homes can we build, how many of such rehab centers and so on. So whilst we need to expand capacity, we also need to expand capabilities and also incentivize home care, right? And in combination, we should be able to cater to the increased demands from an aging population.